Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. I am your co-host, Mr. Steven Boster, along with the one, the only, the most illustrious, the smarty pants himself, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
I should reference the
smarty pants or smart aleck, because I've definitely gotten the smart aleck getting called. That would be for sure.
Right. No, the smarty pants is all about you are my go-to guy on all things Star Wars. So I'm kind of looking forward to today's discussion. Everybody, I'm excited to talk about this, about Visions, because
it's not the podcaster you're looking for.
Move along. Oh gosh, that was a good one. So we don't talk prior to the show about what we're going to say, because that's where we get our save it for the podcast.
We used to do that a lot, and we finally started going, wait, no, save it to for the podcast. So we have first reactions on the podcast.
That's correct. Yes. So all first reactions. So I'm pretty excited about today on this. So, oh my goodness. So I'm excited about it because I enjoyed the first Visions. We've had Mark Thompson on the show who did some voicing in Visions. The first season.
He got to play the drummer character. I don't remember what episode that was, but I had seen a post from Mark on Facebook. He was real excited because he got his first credit on a Star Wars animation. Mark Thompson has done several of the books, and he's just amazing at doing the narration on the books. Does a great job reading them. He does a great job at the different voices. He does an amazing Yoda, by the way. He did Yoda for us too.
Yes.
Yeah. What, Megan?
Tatooine Rhapsody.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Yes. Rhapsody. So he was the drummer.
To the save.
Yeah, look at that. Megan Gianartito. He's the drummer with, like, I think he had 3 heads or something like that.
I think so. I think that's right.
Anyhow, he had posted that he finally got a credit on an official Star Wars animation. He was really excited, and I saw the post and I immediately jumped on it and said, "Hey, that's awesome! Congratulations! Hey, would you like to be on our podcast to talk about it?"
Yeah,
and he actually said yes, and I was just
right
over the moon.
He's been fantastic to be on Facebook and watch him on Facebook and all the stuff he does and the conventions that he does and dressing up and all that. So,
that guy's crazy.
yeah. It's been a lot of fun. So, all right. So everybody, that is our topic today. And if you have not seen it, be warned, it's all spoilerific. I mean, there's no way to get around it as we talk about it.
All right.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, hey, what do we have on it's time to get rolling on our
geeky news.
I
do have a couple items, so let's hit the sounder. All right, first up on my geeky news.
I feel like every time I hear our opener, it's that, the old news tape. I kind of want to keep doing that. Sorry,
I kind of wanted to give it a 80s feel.
It's great. Yeah,
we are kind of stuck in the 80s. So
yeah,
I are
right.
I love the 80s, man. And actually, that's a great segue into my first story. So let's see if I can do present here. Share screen. Not that one. This one. There we go. I was going to share us. So, comicbook.com is holy cow. Sorry about that. Hang on, this will be funny. Hi, Dalton. Oh, wait a minute. I was going to try to put you on the air. We are podcasting right now, buddy. But I don't have my phone hooked up through the soundboard, so I guess I can't put you on the air. I'll have to talk to you later, okay, Dalton? All right, bye. Sorry about that. I thought I had my phone through the soundboard, and I was just gonna have them on, but oh well. Anyway, all right. So according to comicbook.com, Beetlejuice 2 officially gets a 2024 release date. Hey, Megan, you kept.
I don't believe it.
Really?
They're saying September 6th of 2024, and they're also saying that Michael Keaton is on board for it. So I think it's shaping up. I think we're going to get a Beetlejuice 2, and I'm excited because I love Beetlejuice. So I love Michael Keaton. He's one of my favorite actors.
Man, I haven't seen that in so long.
Holy cow. We'll have to rewatch it if once we start getting trailers and stuff like that. Maybe we'll have to rewatch it. But
right.
Well, that's my first news story. And so I figure that ties in with the 80s really well.
No, let me ask Megan something real quick. Megan, why do you not believe it?
Because it was said it was never going to happen.
Okay.
Well,
and we've seen things about it before.
You know, George Lucas said many years ago that Star Wars would never make it back to the big screens either. But how many times has that happened? So,
right.
Anyway, moving on. CBR.com. They announced that Steve Urkel is joined the cast of Star Wars Skeleton Crew. So I just want to know, is he going to come on and go, did I do that?
Right. That's interesting. I thought they already had been filming Skeleton Crew.
I thought they had to. Honestly, I have no excitement about this show whatsoever.
I wonder if it's going to be one of those situations where you watch it and you see him and it takes you out of the Star Wars universe, like we talked about with the Mandalorian episode with
I know what you're saying with Jack Black and I don't know, but
Jack Black took me out of it more than what's her name did, because I really don't know what's her name, but Jack, I was like, wait a minute,
I hate cosplay. I hate to say it, but all three of them took me out of it. Even Christopher Lloyd took me out of it. And I really hate to say that because I love Christopher Lloyd and I think he's done great job. Oh, he was fantastic in Star Trek. But Star Trek, he felt like he fit. That episode.
Yeah, but you didn't really know it was him in Star Trek per se. You know what I mean?
Well, you knew it was him. I mean, it was advertised all over that Christopher Lloyd was, but he did look like a Klingon, and they did a great job with him. So, anyway, I digress. We're talking about Steve Urkel.
Right, we are.
Now, okay, I have zero excitement about this show. I just nothing I've heard so far excites me at all. But I got to say, as far as taking me out of it, since I'm not even excited about it, if he comes on and says, did I do that? I'm in. I'll at least watch that episode. So
that would be funny.
I don't care if it takes me out of it or not.
That's funny. The last thing I saw him in, the actor, is it Jalel? I was mispronounced.
Jalel White.
White. It was he was one of the singing buddies for Gus in the show Psych, and it was really, he did a great job. But you don't recognize him. You don't really recognize him. Mm-mm.
Yeah, he's a lot older now, obviously.
Right.
But even when he played the cool Stephen
Urkel, right?
didn't quite look like himself. So
That's
I
true
mean,
too.
he can kind of transform himself a little bit, but I
Right.
don't know. There's always going to be that, just that little, that's Steve Urkel.
Right.
That's
Right.
Steve Urkel in Star Wars. So,
Yeah. He did
um,
such a good job with that role.
oh yeah, he was great. He's fantastic. But I'm afraid
Yeah.
the guy was typecast too. So
Yeah.
I did have one last news item. Spider-Man: No Way Home, the Tobey Maguire, all three Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, the first Amazing Spider-Man with the other one, Andrew Garfield, and Venom 1 all dropped on Disney Plus this week. So
Oh.
you can get your Spider-Man fill, at least some of your Spider-Man fill, on the Disney Plus. They're building up their Spider-Verse over there. I don't know why Venom 2 is not on there, and I don't know why Amazing Spider-Man 2 and the other, two,
Are
new
they
Spider-Man.
Sony ones?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, those are all Sony, especially the ones with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. Well, even Venom, that's Sony also. That's all their property. I don't know what's going on. They're making deals. That's all I can say.
Yeah, Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire, Amazing Spider-Man.
Yep.
And
Venom.
Homecoming and Venom.
Right.
Okay.
Now,
Venom
also,
1.
Sony dropped a teaser for Venom 3. So Venom 3 is coming in
What?
Yep. It's coming. And of course, Sony's got all kinds of other plans. They got a Madam Web movie plan. They got,
yeah.
And again, I don't have any excitement about that either. How about Craven? Do you got any excitement about Craven?
I got to see a trailer or something for Craven.
I do too. I do too. Because to me, Craven's kind of a C-lister character. I know there's a lot of Spider-Man fans that like Craven. He's popular among the Spider-Man fans and such. But to me, he's kind of like a C-lister, and I'm just not real excited. I think I'm with you. I need to see a trailer to get me excited about this movie. They keep trying to pump it up. It's like, well, give me a taste of it, because you're not doing a good job so far.
I don't mind. I don't know. Craven. Well, that was the first Spider-Man comic book I ever bought was the one with Craven.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, and I really enjoyed that character. But I guess I don't visualize him as a character to carry his own film.
Exactly. Without Spider-Man,
Without Spider-Man, right?
I don't know if I'm excited about that.
Right.
Now, if he's hunting down Spider-Man, okay, well, you got a different, heck, bring in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man and let him hunt him down. You know? I mean, you've opened the door for this. Bring him back.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I would love that.
Interesting.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
You've opened the door to bring back Andrew Garfield in another Spider-Man movie. You've done it for Tobey Maguire too. You could also Tobey.
Let me ask you this. I want to get your opinion on this. What about there's the balance. I'm sorry. There's the balance of, here's what I'm processing, a whole bunch of stuff at once. There's the balance of, do we have too many superhero movies? But you had stated before that whole thing with DC, why are we not using Superman? And so why is it, well, let's just introduce this person and this character and this character, all these B and C-list characters.
I think Sony, it's a contractual issue, because Sony probably can only use Spider-Man for so much, or because they're basically lending Spider-Man over to Marvel, so Marvel can have Spider-Man in the Avengers universe. Is there some type of contractual issue that they can't have Spider-Man in all these different movies? Is that the problem? I don't know what's going on here, but I agree with you. Craven, am I interested in him? No, because he's not with Spider-Man. Madam Web, I I have more interest in Craven than I do Madam Web. Again, no Spider-Man. I don't care. I just don't care. I don't see where they think they're going to go with all these. I just, I know the idea is probably to build up the Sinister Six, but I think there's a better way to do it. I don't know. I think Sony's messing themselves up here. Just stick with Spider-Man and Venom. Maybe give me a good Spider-Woman movie. I might be okay with that.
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen would be great. Sure. I think Spider-Gwen would be very popular too. I think that movie would sell.
We're getting her in Spider-Verse.
Well, yeah, but I mean a live action Spider-Gwen.
I would love to see her in live action.
Exactly. I know there's a lot of other Spider-Gwen fans who would like to see that. Anyway, we should move on from.
We keep moving on. Sorry,
I a lot of time up on Geeky.
I squirreled us. Yes. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get to the
Geekdar.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you don't need that, Private. We're right here. Now, what is it? Now, what is it?
I'm having trouble with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
It's not all he's lost.
Same could be said about us. I personally do not have anything for Geekdar. Steven, do you?
I only two things. One, most of my time was spent watching Visions because I was pretty excited about it. And then as a prelude to what's coming, everybody, is I downloaded or I'm starting to read the Keanu Reeves comic book Berserker. Yes.
This is issue 6 that I'm holding up right now.
Nice.
Pretty nice cover. Red background with B with B and all his glory on it. B is what Keanu Reeves' character is named in Berserker.
Yep. So that's all I had time for, everybody.
That's all I got to say about that. Well, I think moderator Angie has a little Geekdar that she might want to share with us.
Hi, Angie. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Good.
You almost sounded like the character on The Simpsons. I don't remember which one. Hi, everybody.
I thought you'd appreciate that. For my birthday, I went to the local vintage stock, which has like all old school stuff, new stuff. Like it's a huge like nerds fantasy place. It's awesome. And I happen to
stock is pretty cool.
Yeah. So I happen to pick up this WandaVision
print,
and it's in black and white for those that are listening. And it has Wanda and Vision sitting on the couch. And then it's basically like, it looks like the opening sequence of WandaVision. And so everybody's in the background. And then you've got, of course, Agatha. Kind of
even cooler. It looks, it's reminiscent of the
theme.
I'm trying to think of the
artwork. The artwork looks like Bewitched. Dick Van Dyke.
Bewitched.
Did Dick Van Dyke have that? No, Bewitched. You're right. No. It's more like the Bewitched.
This was straight from Bewitched. Right. So, and of course, like if you look closely, you can see a little hidden gems and all that kind of stuff, But like for the most part, the main character is in the background, and then you've got Agatha off to the side, and then she's holding some popcorn. So yeah, I saw this and I was expecting it to be super expensive, but they were like, "Oh, it's $30," and I was like, "Yes, I will take that." So, but I mean, it's a nice frame and everything.
Nice.
Was it framed or did you buy the frame?
It was framed and everything. That's why I thought it was going to be expensive. And they were like, "Oh, it's $30," and I was like, "I will take that."
Yeah, not bad, especially considering it's already framed.
And I mean, you can like feel it, like it's really, really good quality and everything. Like I'm really, really shocked. So yeah, that's my birthday present to myself type thing.
That's very cool.
Right on.
So awesome. Yeah.
Cool. Now I got to ask you something. You pointed out the fact that Agatha is on there.
Yeah.
So if they do a Agatha series. Are you excited about that?
I would watch that in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Hands down. I mean, okay, so the actress alone, I absolutely love. I've seen her in so many things, and she's hilarious. So the fact that she was in WandaVision, I'll be honest, she was the main reason why I was watching WandaVision. That, and because growing up around my grandma, I watched Bewitched and Dick Van Dyke and stuff like that.
Sure.
So, like,
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to watch it. I think if she wasn't in there, and if they didn't have that whole like nostalgia or whatever, I probably wouldn't watched it, honestly, because like Wanda was great, but I don't know. I don't really feel like she was like
I'm not saying
person.
a word. I'm just gonna sip my drink.
But yeah, that's just my personal opinion. Like, I feel like she stole the show. You know,
I kind of agree with you. I think Agatha did partially steal the show. I don't think
she's a great villain.
She was. She's fantastic.
But I think
and I
it goes
think it
back.
helped that I didn't know anything about her character going into it. So I think that helped me a little bit. What were you going to say, Steve?
Well, I think it goes back to the whole thing. We're going to make a show about one of the villains. You know, it almost takes us back to the Craven thing. But I'm going to be quiet because we got to get into all that stuff.
We want to get to the main event, Stephen. We want to get to the main event.
Hey, now Venom's a villain, so and he's had 2 movies.
He's chaotic neutral.
Yeah, I
like,
know.
You know, he can be good, but he's mostly bad.
Look, I got to get Venom in there because I got so much crap about how much I liked Venom.
So that's true.
You're okay wrong.
No, I'm not wrong. Hey, they're making a 3rd movie, so
that's
obviously
right,
I got right.
Yep.
But yeah.
Anyway,
so
all right.
Anyways,
cool beans. Thanks, Angie.
All right. Have a good show.
Thank you. All right. We ready to move on to the main event?
Let's do this.
All right.
It's time for the main event.
Right. Gotta get back to all my notes and all that stuff.
Star Wars. We're gonna talk Star Wars.
So, Star Wars Visions Season 2.
Yes. I think we've already got one person in the chat. Who was it? Derpy. Derpy said
what
it.
What did Derpy say?
Visions Season 2 was better than Season 1. Let's just start
really?
off with that.
Really?
And Derpy's like, yeah, I said it.
You know, I love Venom.
You're so funny.
I absolutely love Venom. I thought Venom was a great movie. It's still one of my favorite Marvel movies. And guess what? Visions 2 is not my favorite.
Really?
Yes.
Are you talking overall or?
I think Visions 2 is very mediocre. A lot of it to me just barely was Star Wars. Visually, it's beautiful. I don't think one of them. I got notes on each episode, just little notes that I took.
Okay.
And pretty much each one. I tried to be positive about everything. I put a lot of negativity in here. I don't know. I don't think it hit me as big as the first one did. I think the first one was better, actually. Let's put it this way. There wasn't one of these stories that I could go, oh man, I'd really like to have more of that story. You know, not one of them, not a single one. I could care less.
Really?
Let's see. Wolf Killer says he had 3 movies. Who is Wolf Killer talking about? Because
I think that was back when we were talking about Venom.
Oh, well, Venom's had 2 movies. I don't know how he said 3, but anyway. Okay. Anyhow, unless I missed something, which I don't think I did. All right. So how do we want to do this, Stephen? We want to go through each episode here.
Yeah. What I like to do I almost want to discuss like which one did we like the best of them. Now, well, first I bet should we give an overall score? Overall score?
Okay, sure.
Okay. So
You're talking all what, six
all 9.
or
There's
9
9.
episodes.
Mhm.
9 episodes
Just
as a
in
whole.
general.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first, Stephen. What are we
Okay.
thinking as our scale on this one?
Well, I forgot what the little robot was in the first one. I really like that.
The
little
robot
round
was cool.
robot.
I did have a note on him. A little Death Star looking robot, but I don't know what his name was.
She
I
said
don't know.
at one point, like I can't remember, A2 or something.
Or wait a minute, maybe it's in my notes. Hold on.
Or we'll just Google it. What real-time action, everybody? What is the name of
Megan just said it.
E2.
E2. All right.
E2. I say you do E2s.
All right, go for it.
E2, E2, U2, E2. All right. I actually really enjoyed as a whole. I enjoyed them. There are some I absolutely did not like. There's one I did not like at all. But it reminded me of Andor. We'll get to that one. But then, but I'll give it a good 7 out of 10. There were a couple of them that I watched again because I liked them, or there were certain points of them that I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to see just those parts again. So,
Gotcha.
so I give it a good 7 out of 10. I wouldn't go 8 out of 10 though. It's not even like it's a close 8, but a 7 is a good one to go with. 7 out of 10 E2s because I really like the E2s.
It just struck me what Wolf Killer's talking about. The fact that Venom had Spider-Man 3. Okay. All right. Okay, Wolf Killer, you win. That was
His movie, though.
Spider-Man 3 is terrible, though. That's a horrible movie. and Topher Grace was a terrible pick for. Anyway, we'll do a Venom episode sometime.
Sounds good.
And it wasn't technically his movie. It was actually Spider-Man, but I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you, Wolf Killer. Anyway, so the first no, you want me to give you a score. Oh, sorry, I forgot. His name was E2.
E2. Yeah.
E2. I like EU better. Expanded universe. E2. I will give this a 3.5 E2s as a whole.
Okay.
I will not go back and rewatch this. I watched most of the episodes twice, and I only did it for the podcast, and I won't. And nothing struck me that I got to rewatch that. There might be a couple I would go back in Visions 1 and rewatch.
Really? Okay.
Dude, I just have no interest in seeing these again.
Wow.
So,
hey, everybody. Once again, we have a drastically different viewpoint between the two geeks.
Yeah, we sure do on this one. I really, really wanted to like this. I was excited about it. And like I said, the animation in most of them are just beautiful. That's the only thing I can really, really, brag about in this series, in this season of it. But other than that, and the stories just kind of left me a little flat. I'm like,
okay.
And some of them, it's like,
right.
well, there's no story here. We're just kind of doing lightsaber fights, and that's it.
Really? Okay. All right. Fascinating. Okay.
Which shocks me because you always it's the story, and I'm like, yeah, there wasn't much story to these, And I know they're short stories.
Yeah. I have to sneeze. Hang on. So what?
How is I love it. My action figure gallery is commenting. How is that possible?
Because we're streaming on that. Hey everybody, just so you know, we are streaming on our YouTube channel, our Twitch channel, our Two Geeks Facebook page, Mike's action figure Facebook page, my personal page, and Mike's personal page. So that's why it's commenting, because
my action figure gallery is commenting.
Right? It's like, what?
Okay then. All right. So episode 1 was called The Sith. And,
this was my favorite one. I absolutely love this one.
Okay. All right. A former Sith apprentice leading a peaceful but isolated life is confronted by the past when her old master tracks her down. Now my notes on this, I like the little Death Star looking droid, the E2.
E2.
I want to call
E2.
him EU. He was cool looking because he looked like a little tiny Death Star, but then he had like legs that would pop out and stuff.
Mhm.
I did enjoy that. I liked her cycle. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And that was reminiscent of
Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan
yeah,
Kenobi.
Revenge of the Sith. That's right. Yep.
Or not, the battle with Obi-Wan Kenobi and General Grievous.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to check out a meteorite that felt very much like Hoth. I thought that was kind of interesting. Because Luke's like, I gotta go check on this meteorite and blah blah blah, and Han's like, I'll meet you back at Echo Base. Anyway, which is the best Star Wars movie, by the way. And it's revealed then that she's a Sith. However, she doesn't want to be. I said I like the Death. Oh, I liked it when the Death Star droid blew off the head of the Sith droid, whatever the Sith droid was. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, those reminded me of like IG-88 kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's when I saw them, I was like, oh, okay, they're battle droids or bounty hunter droids, or designed for pursuit or something like that. Yes.
Now the Sith, he looked super cool.
Yes.
And here's a downfall to a lot of Star Wars lately. They're introducing these super cool looking characters. They did the same thing with the Ahsoka shorts that, those what was it? Tales of the Jedi episodes. A little while back, which I liked those. I thought those was great. But we got introduced to a Sith in one of those tales, and he was super cool, and then just taken down right away. And it's like, oh crap, I would have liked to had more of him. Mm-hmm. Kind of the same thing here. It's like, okay, you just introduced this super cool guy, and boom, he's done.
Well, many of these were meant to be one shots, weren't they?
Well, I get it, but at the same time, don't make them too cool because, yeah. Anyway,
right.
I thought her saber was kind of cool. It was very samurai looking, and then you found out it was actually a double-bladed saber, which was kind of cool.
That was cool. Yes.
And then my last note was not much story to this. Visually, it's pretty cool, but not sure what she is by the end of the story. It's like, she's Sith, is she Jedi?
I went with gray.
Yeah, I went with I don't care.
Wow.
You just don't care. I really didn't get this episode. I mean, yes, I know she's trying to escape the Sith. Okay, all right, whatever. I didn't get the whole art thing. She's painting this house room. I don't know, whatever the heck it was, and I don't know.
Right.
It was way too arty for me, and I just right over my head.
Okay. Well,
the only thing in Star Wars is you had a Sith and you had lightsabers. That was it.
Right.
Oh, and a little Death Star looking droid.
Yeah, which is really cool. It's like, ooh, I wonder if they'll have those as little things. I can put one on my desk. Put it right here next to my 2 Geeks mug.
I doubt it, because we didn't see anything from the first one. So
I know.
Keep on dreaming.
Right.
Maybe look at some of the customizers. If it grabbed the eye of a customizer enough, that somebody will make a custom of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
it was pretty cool. I did like how it had the, as you said, little Death Star action where he shot I was like, whoa, he blew his head off. I'm like, what, for Star Wars? Then you're like, oh, it's a robot. Okay. Because I couldn't tell if they were half machine kind of a things like General Grievous or not.
Oh yeah,
or,
No, I felt
like,
they were.
Gee.
I kind of felt like they were the the droids that General Grievous uses, I felt they looked a little more like them than IG.
Oh, good call. Yeah. Okay.
Droids or whatever they are. I don't know. Of course, IG is
Right.
a droid too. So, all right.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
good one.
I thought it was great. I loved how one of my favorite parts in there. Well, I enjoyed the lightsaber battle, but the part where she's in the vehicle and then has it go on its side when she's got the guns and she pulls out, leans back and starts shooting and stuff. I was like, oh, that was awesome. That was pretty cool. I like that.
I think this had pieces to be really super cool, but it just had no story. I was just like, okay, why do I care? Tell me why I care about this. And I didn't get it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought it was one of those stories where you're trying to figure out what's happening and what's going on, and it reveals it little by little. You find out she's a Sith, I don't know, on the run, but a Sith who no longer wants that path, is struggling with the darkness in her, and then realizing that darkness is part of her. So this is why I went with the gray Jedi thing. And at the end where it says, you are the Sith master now, kind of a thing. She says, I am no Sith. And then the whole thing about charting her own path. Yeah, she is a master now, but now she's charting her own path. I was like, oh, I like that. That's pretty cool. So I thought the whole series started off with a bang and then kind of went downhill from there, but kind of a thing.
When we last met, I was but the learner, but now I am the master. Only a master of evil doth.
Yeah.
Sorry. Mm-hmm. It just fell short for me. I wanted to like it, but I was just that's about it.
Okay. All right. You're entitled
to
your opinion.
Yes, you're right. Empire Strikes Back is still the best Star Wars movie. Moving on. Episode 2, Screecher's Reach. A young girl seeking reprieve from her days in a rural workhouse discovers a legendary haunt cave with her friends. The cave's dark pull will change the trajectory of her life forever. So my notes on this one. When they say you want to see a ghost, it reminded me of Stand By Me. Anybody want to see a dead body?
Oh,
so I did have a little throwback there. That was kind of nice.
My throwback went to Twilight Zone, the movie. You want to see something scary?
Oh, it's funny. You went that direction. I went Stand By Me. That's right. That's yeah, you would think I would have went Twilight. And I don't know, the way he said it, it just reminded me of anyone want to see a dead body, So, and it reminded me of Stand By Me, which is a fantastic movie, by the way.
Right.
Sith is pretty interesting looking again in this one. I like the Sith. The shrieking got annoying.
Oh my god, you're absolutely right. It really did. It was overdone.
Okay, we can stop this now. I'm almost ready to Steven skip to the end of this.
Oh, right.
And then my final note was mediocre, nothing right to write home about.
The only thing I was going to ask you at the end, do you think that you gave me strength, was that a Sith? Was that a Sith that took her? Not a Jedi, but a Sith.
Yeah, I don't know.
I say it was a Sith. I'm like, man, that's 2 Sith episodes in a row.
It looked pretty dark and menacing. So,
right.
But you would think with the kids and all, I don't know. You would think that the story writers, being the fact that you have these kids, you would want the kid to be on the light side, not on the dark side by the end.
Agreed.
So,
it's one of the things I didn't like where they were headed with it. I was like, I get you're going for something unique, but I have this thing about kids in movies.
Yeah,
and
going evil.
Yeah, I don't like it. Like CSI had an episode where you had the kid was the bad guy, and I stopped watching CSI from that point on.
Wow,
long time ago, because I was like, nope, you just crossed the line for me. personally. There's some things, but anyway, yeah.
I mean, I think if it serves the story, that's fine. But this is the whole story. It's not. It isn't a piece of the puzzle of the story.
Right.
It's the entire story. So I really don't know where they ended with it. And like I said, I just found it mediocre. And do I care?
Right. Okay,
No.
let's go to the next one.
All right. So I think both of us didn't care for that one that much. Next one's entitled In the Stars. Two sisters, the last of their kind who live in hiding on their ravaged land, squabble about how to survive with the Empire encroaching. On a water run, the sisters must fight back when they are discovered. So, trying to move back to my notes now. Trying to manage everything on one screen here. I need a third monitor, dude. I said again, visually interesting.
Mhm.
I like the almost claymation look to it. It had kind of this claymation.
Right. Agreed. It had a nice art style to it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like the animation style of it. I thought that was kind of cool. I love that snowtroopers were in it. I absolutely love the look of snowtroopers. They look incredible. Even in that art style, they looked really cool. Let's see. At least this does have a story. You get the background of the battling and giving her life of the battling. I think I messed that up. Of the mother and giving her life for the daughters, then the daughters doing what they must to survive alone, then finally embracing who they are to defeat the Empire. I didn't think this one was too bad. Still doesn't really leave me wanting more though. But it did actually have a story to it, so I felt it was better. The animation was enjoyable on it. So you add the enjoyable animation to at least a halfway decent story, I think you come up with a fairly good episode. So that's my thought on that.
This one was okay for me. It was okay. I think there's some tropes that I'm just kind of overdone on, the whole, battling sisters or whatever it was, like, no, we could do it, and then kept the younger one was always getting into trouble, and now I got to go save him again, or then they did this and all that. And I was like, okay. I did.
You only say that because you're the younger sibling.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
See, I'm the oldest, so
right.
Between me and my sister.
Right.
I was the one causing the trouble.
Yeah.
Well, no, she caused trouble too. But anyway, sorry, I digress.
No, that's okay. This one was okay. It was interesting. And I did like how it ended, kind of a thing. And so, big bad dark empire. It had a nice little villain in it, kind of a thing. Nothing. It's just a villain. It was cookie cutter villain,
right?
Empire build, and that the Empire officer.
It was just a officer, Imperial officer.
Officer, is that a lightsaber on your belt or what?
Pretty happy to see me. All right, moving along.
Yes.
Episode 4. I am your mother. I think that's kind of a play on Luke. Or no, I am your father. He doesn't say
right.
Luke. Anyway,
now this is the one I'll be open with. I most look forward to before I watched it because of the company that does it.
Sure,
it's the Wallace and Gromit people.
Right, and I put that in my notes too.
Oh, okay.
Young pilot Annie, I find her name funny.
Right.
Who is embarrassed by her sweet but clingy mom, must team with her for a madcap family race at the academy. Along the way, their relationship is tested by the elements, their old ship, and other racers and each other. So my notes on this one: I am your mother. I put the fact that this is created by the same company that did Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, Aardman.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yes. I like the fact that Wedge was in it. I thought that was pretty cool.
I liked Wedge, but then I'm like, but okay, this is Aardman, so it is a little campy and goofy. I'll give it to him. Yeah,
Right. I
totally
think
okay.
you have to on this one.
Right.
Which is the way I took it too. So I like the fact they incorporated Wedge. We at least got a classic character that Wedge is a very, very popular character too. I thought Z1 was pretty cool. Z1 was the droid in this one. Baby Wookiee is funny, ripping the arms off of his doll.
Right.
And the others looking at him like, oh.
Yeah.
That was funny. I like that. Couldn't stand the snobby mom and her daughter, but I know they're supposed to be the hated ones. So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Mini Death Star weapon on the snob ship was kind of cool. Seems to be a theme throughout this.
Right.
Second place is last place. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
What is the quote from? What is it? Ricky Bobby or whatever.
Right. The ballad of Zulu Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights.
If you're not finishing first, you're finishing last. Something like that. That kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Even though I've never seen that movie, I just know the line.
I watched it for the first time a couple of months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like 10 years old or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's an old movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't seen it.
The villain
Did you like
it? Actually, I kind of did.
Oh, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a goofy.
It was
movie.
just ridiculous. It was just a ridiculous Will Ferrell.
So I thought this was a fun episode. It was fun, but it's a Wallace and Gromit, So yeah,
it's that style of humor,
right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I enjoyed that one.
I did too. I did enjoy it, but it's not one I felt like I needed to go back and watch.
Oh yeah, none of them I felt like I need to go back. Other than, like I said, I watched 1 through 7, I think it was. No, 1 through 6, and then I stopped watching them. And then Thursday, I was like, "Oh crap, I got to watch all these because we're doing them for the podcast on Saturdays." So I rewatched all of them, and then I took notes for everything but the last one.
Gotcha.
All right, so the next one's called Journey to the Dark Head. A hopeful mechanic and disillusioned young Jedi team up for a risky and unlikely quest to turn the tide of the galactic war, but dark forces tail them.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So my notes on that, I liked the visuals again. Thought they were really nice, very anime style. Almost to me felt old school anime, like it felt G-Force or
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yep.
Yeah, which I love, or Speed Racer for that matter. Love that style. So yeah, that's a plus in this one. Are there more than one Jedi councils? Yeah, that was a question I had because so they approach a Jedi council, and I'm like, I thought there was only one Jedi council. Are there more in the Star Wars universe? I was just like, okay. I guess I'm not supposed to ask that. Or is this just a different time period? Look, that's my Star Wars brain working.
I know. It's all good. Everything's
like, how does this fit in? Okay. I don't understand. And Disney, everything is canon. Well, if it's canon, how does this fit? Anyway, I like the pilot, the young Jedi team up. Interesting how the pilot approached the Jedi Council, though. Yeah, that was something else. It's like, okay, all right, whatever. I thought the ships were really cool designs in this. I like those a lot. Battle kind of reminded me of the battle in Rise of Skywalker, the lightsaber battle. It looked very reminiscent of them, going across the ship that was in the water, and the whole red and blue look to it had a very Rise of Skywalker. I mean, take that for what it's worth.
when I saw the red and blue and the mixture between the two, light and dark, it took me back a little bit to the first one. where it was, I'm no Jedi, or I'm not a Sith, kind of a thing, charting our own path and becoming. And I kind of wondered if it was a theme that they're trying to start to introduce, even though I doubt it, of there's light and dark in all of us, kind of a thing. I'm like, nah, I want my good guys to be good, my bad guys to be bad. Cut this out.
Yet you like the whole gray Jedi aspect. Okay, I'll move on.
Fair enough.
I don't want to start an argument.
Fair enough.
No, I just felt this had a very Rise of Skywalker feel. I know how I'm very critical of that film, but the look of that film visually is very good. Visually, the sequel trilogy is very good. That's the thing about new Star Wars. Visually, it's great. Where's the stories?
Right.
Let's see. What else did I have on here? I like the pilot saving the Jedi. I thought that was kind of cool. This one felt most Star Wars-like of all of them so far. Balance between light and dark, and the pilot and Jedi learning to work together hesitantly and ultimately becoming a team. I enjoyed the Japanese imagery of it. So overall, it was a good story. I like that one. Again, do I want more of them? No, not really.
This one was I'd say one of my top 3.
Yeah.
I did enjoy this one. I did watch this one twice.
I would definitely put this higher up on the list than this might have been my favorite of them.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving right along. Number 6.
My brain went to the Muppets. Moving right along. Do, 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 do. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, there's a new Muppet movie on Disney too.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right. I just saw that yesterday.
Yeah, the band. Okay, next episode is The Spy Dancer.
Spy Dancer.
The premier dancer at a famous imperial. Bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Frequent. Now you only get one more. After that, I assume you're taken over by demons, and you're on your own.
Right. Excuse me. There you go.
That's it. Bless you, and that's it. You get no more. Bless you, my son, and Anyway, the premier dancer at a famous imperial frequented cabaret uses her unique skills to spy for the rebellion, but the presence of a mysterious officer threatens to derail her mission. Okay. I said, kind of feels like a World War II undercover operation.
Yes, nice. I like that. Yeah.
Interesting how she puts trackers on the Imperials while she's doing her performance. I like that.
Yep.
Thought that was neat. I thought it was inventive. Liked it.
What did you think when she started the performance and she first came down and it all spread out, and the reason I'm asking it was almost reminiscent of the scene in Revenge of the Sith where they're watching that play or musical or whatever.
Do you know the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Leave us.
Yes. That's the one. It kind of reminded me of something like that.
Yes, I agree. It did kind of feel similar to that in a similar way. Okay. Classic Star Wars feel, Rebel versus Empire. I like that. Very nice. I enjoyed the twist of her finding her son, spoiler alert, who is now an Imperial officer. Now he has to choose his life as an Imperial officer or whether to return to his mother. I gave this one a thumbs up. I thought it was a halfway decent story.
I didn't see that whole thing coming at the end. I was like, oh,
I didn't either.
Nice
it was a nice little twist.
It was.
So, good story. Animation was okay. This one I would
on this one.
Yeah, I wouldn't put this at the top of that. Kind of funny. We had fat stormtroopers. It almost felt like Big Hero 6.
Baymax?
Yeah, they almost felt like Baymax. Seriously, one of them did anyway.
Right?
It's like, wow, did Baymax become a stormtrooper?
What?
Interesting. And it was interesting that we got to see a bunch of stormtroopers without their helmets. Because you never see stormtroopers other than the sequel trilogy without their helmets. So, yeah, I thought that one was decent. I liked it. Again, do I need more? No, I don't care.
Right. Yeah.
Next one. Bandits of Golak.
Yep.
Fleeing from their village by train and pursued by ferocious Imperial forces, a boy and his force-sensitive younger sister seek refuge. I almost said revenge in a vibrant and dangerous Dahaba. That must be Indian. I don't know what that means.
It is, India.
Okay. Let's see. Bandits of Golak. I said visually very nice. Actually, the animation in this was really, really good. I really like the detail in it. Nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Agreed.
Love the aliens. Lots of classic Star Wars aliens. Hammerhead, Walrus Man, Greedos. You know, it's like, oh, wow. You guys watch Star Wars. I'm impressed. I thought the speeder bikes were cool. Like those. Now, okay. You know, we've discussed things that take you out of it.
Yeah.
This is again something that new Star Wars Disney Star Wars is doing that I'm not fond of. All the aliens speak in English. Every one of them. And I put it kind of felt weird with the Indian accent, but I don't just mean the fact that they speak with an Indian accent. I just mean the fact that all the aliens speak English. You know, right. I miss like Jabba the Hutt. He didn't speak English. You know, he speaks Huttese. You know, Greedo, he didn't speak English. You know, all the aliens in the original Star Wars movie, other than like Admiral Akbar, you know, stuff like that, main characters, you know, for the rebellion and stuff, they spoke English, but they also gave it a twist and made it sound alien, you know. But you know, and I know Doctor Who does it, but Doctor Who at least gives an explanation because they're coming from the TARDIS, and the TARDIS translates everything in their head for them, so they hear everything in English. So to me, that makes sense. I get that. Okay, that's how come you can hear them in English. And they've explained it in the show. I love it. Here, no. I think aliens should have an alien sound. Even if you're going to have them speak English, make them sound somewhat alien. You know, do something with it. That's my critique of that one. I felt the market looked a lot like the market at Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Bad guy reminds me of Ming the Merciless.
That's interesting.
Didn't you think so?
No, that's not the first thing that came to mind, but I was
really?
like, okay,
what come to mind for you then?
Nothing. I just liked him as a villain. I was like, oh, it's an Inquisitor.
Oh, I don't think he was a bad villain. I was like, wow, he looks like Ming the Merciless. I thought his troopers looked really cool too. I like them. I like the old woman how she had the lightsaber hidden inside her cane.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
And the lightsaber, I thought this was one of the best lightsaber battles out of all.
Yes. I watched the lightsaber battle several times.
Yeah, it was pretty epic in this one.
It was.
Really enjoyed that.
Did you like how they did the slow motion thing in it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was
I love the slow motion part. Yeah.
With the aliens talking. That's my biggest issue with this one. I like how the Jedis were being hidden. It's almost like a underground railroad type thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I thought that was a neat idea. Nice thing to add into Star Wars lore. It was kind of that was kind of alluded to in Obi-Wan in the Obi-Wan series too, that there was kind of this underground railroad type thing to hide Jedis and rebellion members and such like that. So I thought that was overall. I thought this was a decent episode. Yeah. Again, do I need more? No, I'm good. I saw it. I'm good.
I've gone back to watch the fight sequence because it was just really enjoyable.
I think out of any of them, if I rewatched any of them, it might be this one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, visually, it's really nice. And like I said, they really knew how to add Star Wars aliens and give it that feel. It's a little different in the Star Wars world, but
what I thought was interesting too was
shut that off. Sorry, my Alexa in the living room started playing something.
Oh, that's funny. Ooh, speaking of, possessed things.
Yeah,
So I enjoyed the how shall I say? I thought it was interesting. Another story of a young new Jedi, or a really young Jedi at the beginning of really come to terms or understanding who they are or realizing something different about them, taken by a mentor.
I thought about this when I was watching it. Something that's kind of sad to me. Oh, it just struck me when I was watching this episode.
Uh-huh.
You notice the Jedi seem to take children when they're young,
right?
And so did Palpatine. Palpatine kidnapped them. At least the Jedi are, taking them with parents' permission, and the parents know what they're
right.
in for. And Palpatine's just kidnapping children. So it kind of made me sad. I'm like, oh crap. All my Star Wars here are kidnapping children.
Dun dun dun.
Anyway,
right.
Go back out. Let's leave the real world and go back into Star Wars.
Right. Okay.
So the next one is called The Pit.
Yeah, we can skip this one.
I got some notes on it though.
Go ahead. Go for it.
A fearless young prisoner forced to dig for Kyber by the Empire plans a risky escape for he and his people. So my notes on this one. Again, visually it was nice. Did like the probe droid. Had a probe droid. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy those little details. Empire enslaving and forcing to mine for Kyber reminds me of Black Adam in a way. You had the similar story in the Black Adam movie. He has to try or they will all die. Why did I? Oh, meaning he's got to try to get out of there after the Empire leaves. They feel they've sucked up all the resources, and they skedaddle and leave all their slaves in that pit, and he feels that he has to try or they will all die. I like the little creatures making holes in the wall for him to help him climb up. I thought that was kind of neat.
That was kind of neat. Yep.
Again, nice to see classic Star Wars aliens, because there was quite a few in this one too.
Mm-hmm. In the city especially.
Right. And I got a note here. We helped build this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Because someone said we helped build this city, and it just all of a sudden that song starts blaring in my head. Built this city. Anyway,
on rock and roll.
It would have been awesome if they would have had this song. That would have taken this up a notch. I said sucks that the stormtroopers threw him back into the hole. The follow the light reminded me of follow the yellow brick road.
Right.
Felt kind of like Ants, the movie Ants, because they finally realized that there's so many more of them and there's so few of the Empire. Just felt like Ants. Overall, I said not bad. It was an okay episode. Just that was my feeling.
The two things about this episode. One, as I mentioned over the beginning of the show, it felt more like Andor. Like this is the world of Star Wars kind of a thing.
Gotcha.
Which is fine. Those who may like that, and I won't, I won't poo-poo that idea, kind of a thing. But I was shocked in this one they killed a main character off, or not a main character, but the kid they just threw him over the side and splat.
Did he die?
Yeah, he was dead. They didn't show you, or they just,
Okay. I didn't think about that.
Right.
Yeah,
I thought
that's
that was
good.
edgy. I thought that was edgy. But other than that, okay. That's all I got. Also, I got to say about that. That's a never watch again one.
And the last one, Au's song. Au.
Oh, sorry.
Werewolves of London. Oh, sorry. An alien child who longs to sing is raised by her loving but stern father to stay quiet because of the clematis. I don't know.
Climatic?
Not climatic. It's CALAMITOUS. Effect her voice has on the crystals in
calamitous.
Calamitous. Thank you.
Bringing calamity, bringing the potential for bringing calamity, her voice. Yes.
I have 0 notes on this one.
So here's the deal with this one. One is it brings back another Kyber crystal story. Okay.
Sure.
Fine. It also brings back at the end where, oh, here, come with me, child. Let me teach you how to use your gift. Now,
they all had that though.
A lot of them did. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing about this one was a different type of force ability that we haven't seen before. The
whole singing thing.
The whole singing thing being a power kind of a thing. Because I was like,
how did you feel about that?
I didn't like it.
I didn't either. I didn't like
it. I get it. We want to introduce different things and different abilities and how her voice, interacts with the Kyber crystals, but
I don't know.
It kind of fit a little bit of what they were trying to do in the story. I don't think it was done great, but this concept of, these were at this location. Yeah, there's narration at the beginning of an episode. That's never a good thing. Oh, here's something we want you to read at the beginning to give you background. And
I never thought of that. That's great.
Yeah.
I love it. There's narration at the beginning. That's never a good thing.
For those of you who watch Cinema Sins, he dinks on it every time. Like 10 cents for narration at the beginning of it.
I must have hated Blade Runner then.
Right. That's a show don't tell thing in storytelling. Don't tell
show me, don't tell me. Oh, sorry. That's Rush.
But I mean, I get it because it was the whole concept of, these were infected by Sith and stuff and blah 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 blah, and then she healed them all. It's like, oh, great, we did the whole droid army thing. All we had to do was blow up this one ship, and all she had to do was sing, and everything was made better all at once.
Well, that is kind of a Disney trope.
Yeah, that's true. In all fairness,
all you got to do is sing and everything becomes happy and
right.
La-di-da.
Yeah.
I wasn't all that fond of this one. That's why I had no notes on it.
Yeah, this one.
I got to this one and I'm like, are we done yet?
Right. This is my next to last one. In other words, the one I did not like at all was the pit. And then this one was the next one, which I was like, it's okay. It's, but yeah, animation was good. Animation was good in several of these.
I guess I could see where a younger viewer might really enjoy this one.
Oh, good. Okay.
And
look at you bringing the positive. I love it. I'm trying. I did a lot of crapping on these. So right.
I didn't really want to, but I'm just being honest about these episodes.
No, you need to be. So right.
I think I could see where this would be appealing to a younger audience, at least this episode. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a happy-go-lucky. By the end of it, it's kind of a happy-go-lucky episode, and I could see where that would be fun for a younger kid or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But as an adult Star Wars fan,
right.
That was just my feelings on it.
Yeah. All right.
That was my feelings about a lot of these.
I enjoyed the first one the most. That was my favorite. And if I had to go next, I'd say Journey to Darkhead was that was my second favorite.
And I knew going into this that you had already told me that you really enjoyed the first one. And I watched the first one going, yeah, I don't know why. So I knew this was going to be an interesting episode.
Right.
I knew this was going to be fun because we were going to have pretty contradictory
viewpoints
on this. Now, I do want to state, I'm not saying that, nobody should watch these. Look, everybody has their Star Wars, and we got so much Star Wars nowadays. There's so much to choose from. I get it. You like these things. You like them. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with anyone who likes these. I'm just saying for me, this was just meh, and I won't rewatch them again. That's all.
Gotcha.
If you like them, great. More power to you. I'm glad you enjoyed them. I just won't revisit them. Just like I know there's a lot of people who are super love Andor, and I didn't. I was
Yeah, I didn't like Andor.
But I enjoyed Boba Fett, even though it had a lot of flaws and was, wasn't the Boba Fett that I really wanted, but still enjoyed the show.
We're all entitled to our opinion. I mean, I'll probably, Empire Strikes Back. I'll never watch it again. Just kidding.
We all know that's a lie. One thing I did think about, because somebody at work, I was talking to him and I said something about I just didn't care much for Andor, and he shot back at me and said, "Oh, you just think all your Star Wars has to have the Force and lightsabers and nothing else." And I'm like, no, that's not true at all. For one thing, I love the Mandalorian and Boba Fett, and there's very little, Jedi in that. I mean, there's some Jedi in that because you got Baby Yoda in it. But for the most part, it's all about bounty hunters, and I love the whole bounty hunters. And honestly, I would love something on smugglers. If we did some kind of smugglers series, I would enjoy that too. So no, all my Star Wars doesn't have to be lightsabers and the Force. Now, do I think lightsabers and the Force are a huge part of Star Wars and probably the heart? Yes, I do believe that. So I do find it funny that somebody said that to me, and then every single one of these episodes had something to do with a lightsaber or the Force. Everyone.
Just about.
So I thought that was kind of funny.
Almost.
Oh, wow. I got shot down for that, and that's what every single episode is. So
I'll be open with you. I do think my Star Wars needs to have lightsabers and space wizards and space cowboys.
I think at some point you have to have it. I don't think it has to be in every single, you know what I mean? We didn't have that throughout Boba Fett. So,
yeah.
And we don't have it throughout The Mandalorian, and those series I think are good. I enjoy those series. So, But now, would you watch a smuggler series, if something on Han Solo?
I don't know necessarily Han Solo per se. I mean, that'd be fine. But let's say outside the scope of Han Solo, I probably still would, because for me, it's the whole space cowboys, pew, pew,
right?
Kind of a thing, action.
Well, I agree with that.
My problem with I don't want to go to all Andor again, but I think I would watch. I think I would. I'd be kind of excited to see something like that. Yeah.
So it doesn't have.
Just as long as you got a Jedi, it's all good. I'm just kidding.
Okay. So yeah, it has to have all lights. Again, I do think lightsabers and Jedi or the Force are the heart and soul of Star Wars. Without that, you don't have Star Wars. I admit, but I think we can't have series that live outside of that and still connect to the universe. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Andor tried that, but I just don't think they did the best job at it. That's all. They didn't do a horrible job, but they didn't do the best job.
I think it was just story, and it was so slow.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is not an Andor. This is Visions.
Yeah, that's true.
This is Visions. So if we're doing a comparison contrast, I would put this over Visions over Andor.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess there were a few that I could. Yeah. All right. Hesitantly, yes. Hesitantly, he says yes. Anyway.
Okay, cool beans. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Any last thoughts, comments, funny anecdotes?
Again, I'm gonna say this was not really my cup of tea. I expected more out of this, just didn't quite get it there. But if you like it, you like it. That's great. I'm happy for you. It's just not my cup of tea. That's all.
Gotcha. Right on. I enjoyed it for what it was or what it is, and enjoyed that. So your phone's coming through again.
About that. It's my nephew.
He's like, "Don't you know we're not done yet?" No, I'm just kidding. That's cute. That's cute.
You know, he could be watching us and he'd know we're not done yet.
Right. That's funny too.
Anyway.
All right. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us here on Two Geeks and a Microphone. Been good to hang out with you. I want to encourage you, please check out our Ko-fi page, www.ko-fi.com/2geeks. There you will find just ways that you can help support us here on the show. All our money that we get just goes to pay for all the expenses to do the show, kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah, we can use some more of that.
Right. And so glad you can hang out here with us. If you our webpage is down for the moment because kind of rebuilding it, kind of a thing. And so we'll have that up soon. But also you can check us out on our Facebook page. Mike does a great job with a whole bunch of memes that he posts and stuff. They're fun. I enjoy them. It's really good. Of course, now I think it's a race between you and three geeky dads of who does the most in a day.
Yeah, sometimes it does. It's like, oh crap, they posted something. Now I need to post something.
Right.
Or there are times he'll, I think Brian does most of their posting, and Brian will post something, and I'll be like, I'm stealing that, dude.
Right.
Of course, he stole it from me too, so it's all good.
Right.
All's fair in love and war, right? Or all's fair in podcasting, right?
Something like that. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, if you've made it this far, please go and like and subscribe. Make sure and like us and follow us on Facebook, like Steven said. And make sure you like the video and subscribe to us on YouTube. That way you can see when we are going live. We tend to go live every Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
Central Standard
Time. You do the math on the rest. I'm not doing it. I don't like math. And if I don't have to do it, I'm not doing it. So, I think that's all I got.
There was a meme one of our friends posted on Facebook, and it was a cartoon of this guy on his deathbed, and he's about to pass away, and he's like, "Yes, I went my whole life without using algebra."
I don't think I could quite say that, but yeah, probably pretty close. There is a lot of math that I did in school that, it's like, I'll never use that. Anyway.
Right.
Stay in school, kids.
Right.
And do your math homework. Anyway, we're gonna be a podcaster like me. All right. With that said, anything else, Steven?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So over and out, and may the force be with you always. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,